Hello and welcome to another episode of the CUFI Weekly, and I talk to you today on a week which has been very difficult for Israelis. On Tuesday, the IDF announced that they had recovered the bodies of 6 of the hostages who had been taken into Gaza by Hamas. The 6 men were believed to have been alive when they were taken into Gaza, but were subsequently murdered by Hamas. Our thoughts and prayers and solidarity are with Israel and its people at this difficult time. As the war rages past 300 days, there are still hostages being held. There are still IDF soldiers fighting the evil of Hamas, and there are still rockets raining down on Israel, both from Gaza and from Lebanon. What I really want to touch on today is almost a reality check. Like, what are we doing as a society and a world? That there are still people who are chanting in support of Hamas on our streets. That there are people on our streets saying that they are Hamas, that we are all Hamas, and condemning Israel. There were signs in Chicago this week saying that we should sanction Israel and arm Hamas. And yes, you can say these are fringe voices, and they are, but they are dangerous and misguided nonetheless. Are we forgetting that Hamas is the terrorist organization that crossed into Israel on October 7th and massacred over 1,000 people, committed atrocities, committed rapes, took people into Gaza, kidnapped them, and killed some of them in captivity? Are we forgetting that Hamas is the terrorist group which continues to fire rockets from civilian areas, hoping that there are retaliatory strikes and that civilians are killed so they can use it as propaganda? This is the same Hamas who takes international aid which is coming into Gaza, being facilitated by Israel, their sworn enemy who they want to wipe from the map. And then they are stealing that aid and beating innocent people of Gaza who are simply trying to get a meal. Yet this is who we're supporting on the streets of America, and London and Toronto. The moral bankruptcy that we're going through right now as a world is shocking. We're seeing people waving Hezbollah flags. This is the same Hezbollah who have fired over 150 rockets and projectiles at Israel this week alone. The same Hezbollah that murdered 12 Druze children who were simply playing soccer. Why? Because they happen to live in the Jewish state. Yet there's no outrage there. Those 12 children, their lives don't seem to matter to the so-called human rights activists that are on our streets. The fact that of the 6 hostages' bodies which were brought back to Israel, one of them, Nadav Popplewell, is British. He's a British Israeli. Yet where is the strong condemnation from the British government? Where is the protests on the streets of Britain that you have murdered one of our citizens? One of our citizens was dragged into Gaza and murdered. Where's the outrage and disgust? Do countries no longer care about their own citizens? There are still Americans being held in Gaza by Hamas. Why are we not doing more? We're living in a time where people are waving the flag of the Islamic Republic of Iran, the regime in Iran which is the epicenter of terrorism, which is the epicenter of anti-Semitism, which is the epicenter of persecution of the Iranian people. Because the regime and the people are two different things. That is the situation we're seeing on the streets of London and Toronto, and that is why every single voice at Christians United for Israel is so important. That is why every single voice in support for the truth, in support for Israel, in debunking the lies is vital. You have a part to play not only in the defense of Israel, but in the future of America to ensure those voices who support evil, who support Jew hatred, who support terrorism, do not become the loudest. This is Kasim Hafeez for the CUFI Weekly. For Zion's sake, do not remain silent.
Thanks for checking out this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe so you get a notification every time a new episode hits. And if you want to check out some of our previous episodes, and we've got some really good ones, click on one of the thumbnails and that will take you right there. And finally, if you want to know more about CUFI and the work we do, go to cufi.org to check out all the resources we have available free to you.